Hello everybody, you know me. Okay, no you don't, but you know who I am. I am Issa J, your Smarky Wrestling Alliance Heavyweight Champion. I retained last week, and alongside me as always
is Liam Landry.
Yes, the former champion. And alright, we are gonna get started. But before we get started, as always,
imitating what we're seeing on screen, as you should always do when you watch wrestling. Because right now we're watching some Road to Wrestle Kingdom, or I think it's a Road to Tokyo Dome, really. But yes, we're watching the match between Will Ospreay, Robbie Eagles, Hiromu Takahashi, and Bushi.
Right. And
obviously, if you don't know, Hiromu, Bushi, one team, Ospreay, and I just said his name, Robbie Eagles on the other team.
Correct. And yeah, as always, before we get started on the show, we like to know how everyone's doing. So, how was your week after TLC?
It's doing fine. It's doing fine. Can't complain too much.
Yeah.
The one thing to complain about, I just seen today that for a reason the water board stopped taking my automatic payments. So they're like, this is past due, and it's like, well, you've been taking automatic payments for almost a year now.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah, so that's just going to be another one I have to manually do, but whatever. It's done here. And this opener right here is going to be where a lot of the fast-paced shows. But I'm really enjoying it, even getting a good kick out of that jacket. But Suicidal Tendencies, do you know the band Suicidal Tendencies?
I do not.
That's what he was referencing in there. It was like a band. On the back of Hiromu Takahashi's jacket, I pointed out that it was a Suicidal Tendencies patch. And I like in there, one of their bigger songs, I guess you would say, was Institutionalized. And in there, it's all about like parents' reactions to you and all. And there's a point in there where he's in his room and it's like mom's trying to get his attention and he's like not paying attention because he's just thinking about things, it happens. And he's like, and then when she gets this attention, she's like, you're on drugs, and it's like, no, I'm not on drugs, I'm just thinking. And it's like, people don't do that unless they're on drugs. And then he's like, Mom, can you just give me a Pepsi? Under it was all I wanted was a Pepsi.
Wow, that's so funny.
It's a great song. But it's like, I love the reference there.
My week consisted of concert, which was really amazing. It was Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And also, which was really, really cool, The Witcher came out. So I was able to squeeze in the first 2 episodes to check that show out. And I'm not sure if I like it per se, because there are a little bit of nitpicks I have in the first couple episodes. However, I am intrigued to keep going. So there's that. There is that. Anything else you want to bring up before we get started the podcast?
I'm going to bring out how Hawkeye's going into these barricades. Hiromu, you just came back.
But did you really expect Hiromu? That's why he wanted to be 100% before he got back, because he knew he was going to go all out.
He knew he had to go to 100% because he knew he was going to get beat down to 90 after his first match.
Right.
Yes. No, nothing too much. We can go.
Hello, the Sports Enthusiast League. Thank you for joining us today, DJ.
Sports Enthusiast League. Sounds
Give us
so
that
familiar.
like. Give it a like. Help us with
the
our
sexy likes and the unsexy ones.
Exactly. You already know what to do. Just hit that like button, man.
But since he's a friend, it's a sexy like.
Yes.
We can be positive about that.
Exactly.
Nice tag team work, and I love the synchronize of the uniforms here for Ospreay and Robbie Eagles.
Definitely making them feel more like a proper tag team.
And I know you like it because it has black and red in it.
Yes, and then there's gold to give you that Fifth Ranger feel too.
Yes. But anyways, we can go right into our first segment, which
is
news outside of the WWE. This is big time wrestling news that's happening in companies outside of the big boys, the WWE.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
And we have quite the news for you. So before we get started on the bittersweet portion of our New Japan Pro Wrestling news, it is we're just gonna bring up things we were going to bring up before, but because of vacation and last week we didn't do the podcast, we weren't able to bring it up at the time. We have a Junior World Tag League winners and the World Tag League winners as well. For the juniors, it is probably who you think it is. It is Sho and Yo, Roppongi 3K. They were able to win that one, which is really, really cool. I know you're huge fans of those guys as junior tags.
mm-hmm.
And, oh, that was so crisp. And also, for the tag league, it was Dave Finley and Juice Robinson getting that victory.
Yep.
So that's really cool. I know a lot of people, because of the way the points were going, some people were like, oh, it's going to be the third year in a row for Evil and Sonata. That is not the case. It is Juice and Dave Finley. But, yeah, so that's really cool. But let's talk about the, oh my gosh, drop kick, and Will just jumped over the barricade into the fans' lap.
Lucky fan. But anyways,
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yes, we talked about the most Saturday news, as everyone probably knows. We talked about before. Jushin Thunder Liger is retiring. He's going to have his final match at Wrestle Kingdom, but he's also going to have a lot of finals. One of his finals is going to be his final Korakuen Hall match. Korakuen Hall, very well-established home for New Japan. It's one of the very regular shows that they always have big events for. So it's a big deal for him, and it's going to be a 6-man tag match as a co-main event. It's going to have Jushin Liger,
yes,
obviously, teaming up with Hiroshi, with Tanahashi, and Kota Ibushi. That trio taking on a team of chaos of Kazuchika Okada, Yoshihashi, and Rocky Romero.
And that's probably going to be a really fun, really good match. We watched his match here at this venue while Rocky Romero, Ryusuke Taguchi, Honma, and Togi Makabe were all part of, and they did a really good job with it. Tiger Mask also included in that match.
Yeah, so he's gonna have some fun and some good actions there. So it's gonna be good to see, and still part of that brand tour. It's great to see he has a tour here, going. You think of wrestlers who didn't have the opportunity to do something like that, like say Edge, for instance, or even other guys who haven't had the ability to set a date for when they're going to retire, and then have it go, and actually build up to it, and then also just legitimately retire, which is also good to see.
Right. And what were some of your thoughts on the World Tag League before we move on to the next news article?
I thought it was interesting, but I mean it does make sense for Juice and Dave Finley to go. Now they're going to be facing the Guerrillas of Destiny for the tag titles. So it's good to see. It's not like they don't deserve it. It is a little honor because they're work together, but not an organized tag team like some of the others. But still, but like I said, they still have worked together in an established relationship. It's not completely out of the blue. Okay, but we go into our next news.
Yes, but a lot of people, if y'all were listening to how we were talking about the New Japan's main event in a couple weeks. What is that called again? like their main show.
Wrestle Kingdom?
Thank you. Anyone hearing us talk about Wrestle Kingdom, and next week we will give a full rundown of the card because it'll be only like a few days after that. And we'll try to do a live stream after we're done with our thing in New Orleans because we will be at New Orleans Comic Con. So if you're watching and you're going to be there, come on down and say hi. We'd really like to see you guys. It'd be really fun. But yeah, so let's now, next week we'll talk about Wrestle Kingdom card. This week, our New Japan stuff is now done, and let's move on to the next one, which is it wasn't AEW, it was MLW.
Yes.
MLW.
First one for MLW.
Major League Wrestling.
Yes, we're having at Fightland. We have an announcement of a debut there. It's going to be Killer Cross, who just pretty recently got out of his Impact contract, and now he's apparently doing MLW. Maybe some other things in there as well, but definitely.
That's actually a little bit surprising. I mean, I know he has a lot of friends in MLW, but that's a little bit surprising considering how WWE were actually looking for him, and how
and his girlfriend / fiance or wife, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, his significant other.
His significant other is in WWE right now.
Right. So that's interesting. But it could be like Marty Scurll, where he just wants to test the waters elsewhere before making a full-on commitment. Where just kind of how NWA, my bad. NWA is also doing their. Marty Scurll is doing stuff over there. So yeah, that's interesting.
Okay, but the other MLW news announced, we have an update on the MLW 0 Hour. 0 Hour card because they added a new match, and the new match that they added is for the National Openweight Champion, the mid card title, right now held by Alexander Hammerstone, and he's going to be defending against Triple A's Aerostar. So this is definitely part of MLW's partnership with Triple A that they announced pretty recently, and the expansion on that. Along with that, we're going to have Jimmy Havoc versus Mance Warner, continuing their rivalry in a no ropes barbed wire match. So it's going to be a match with barbed wires instead of ropes. And of course, a hardcore match. Ross Van Erich versus Tom Lawler. Of course, I believe we were reacting to it on the podcast one time of Tom Lawler's turn and portraying the Von Erichs. So it's going to be fighting back for that. Then we're going to have Marshall Von Erich versus MJF. And that's if MJF wins, the Dynasty will... This is stipulation with it. If MJF wins, the Dynasty will get a tag team title shot against the Von Erichs. If Marshall wins, MJF can challenge the Von Erichs for the titles again. And then there's also announced that they're going to have a debut for Eric Stevens. Don't know him personally well, but be good to get to see him in MLW. So, already some interesting things for that TV.
Hiromu's already busted open.
Oh yeah, definitely. What a belly suplex there. Just flew him into the turnbuckle.
Rad. But yeah, so that seems like a really interesting card. Odds are, because we did MLW pay-per-view before, we might do this one as well, react to it while we're on the podcast. Because a lot of times their stuff is not easy to get to the day it's happening.
Because of our schedules.
Exactly. But yeah, we'll definitely be checking that one out as well.
Yes.
And Bloodsport, I know we do want to see more of that one as well. After we watch their free preview that we got to see with those 3 matches.
Go back and see more of it. But
yeah, totally.
Yeah, so then we get into our last thing. Do you want to take it?
Yes, I will take it. So I'm just going to do a quick backstory few weeks ago, or maybe even a month ago, we were watching AEW Dark, and there was a match with, I think it was Big Swole and Chris Statlander taking on possibly Dr. Britt Baker, D&D, and
I think it was Rio.
Riho?
Yeah. And
Riho. And when watching this match, Chris Statlander had a really cool look. She's very unique looking. Really, really good in the ring. Probably other than Yuki Sakazawa, for me, the best in-ring mover. Like the way she's able to move in the ring looks really clean and crisp, which is really nice. And I wanted her to get an upset victory, and I'm pretty sure Dr. Britt Baker beat her in that match, like pinned her, which I was not happy about. Not only was I not happy about it, I was like, man, this woman is amazing. She should skyrocket all the way to the top. And then she did her first singles match against number one contender at the time, Hikaru Shida, and won. Her very first match as a single star, she won, and she beat the number one contender. And I was like, okay, I hope this isn't a fluke. And then she beat Emi Sakura. And I was like, okay. And then she beat, it was on an episode of Dark, which was a throwaway match. You know she was going to win. Man, I'm pretty sure it was against an absolute nobody. But she got that win as well. So that's 3 big wins. And now she's facing off against Dr. Britt Baker for the number one contendership spot for Riho's championship. And she did it. 4 wins in a row consecutively, taking out Dr. Britt Baker. Undefeated so far in singles action is Chris Statlander. She is your number one contender for the women's championship. And quite honest, the way the storyline is going, it does look like she's probably going to get screwed out of it by the Nightmare Collective. However, if that isn't what happens and she does get the victory, I wouldn't be too upset about that, because she's booked very strong, and she's been winning constantly in singles action. I would absolutely love to see her get that victory. Your thoughts on this big come out of nowhere story?
I agree with you. I think it's a good run and well deserved. I also believe it's probably not going to be transitioned, just because of the Nightmare Collective angle. So so I'm mostly just in agreement with you, and it's also really great because Chris, what is it,
Statlander, yeah.
I believe, didn't they say she was actually French?
No, that one is that one's Shine. Starts with her name starts with an S, but I do not remember how to pronounce it.
Okay, but anyways, but it's interesting. I also like her style.
But yeah, she's I think she is from America, but she's billed as from out of this world, like out of the galaxy. She's supposed to be an alien, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it's just Shayna, but I'm not. Ooh! Nice kick to the head.
Yeah, but anyways, okay, no, there's one Shauna from Portugal.
That's her. And from Portugal, she moved to France.
Yeah. Okay.
She's in a feud right now with what? Oh, sorry.
She must have. I think she may have been in something with her. Is that the?
I'm trying to remember this lady's name.
But anyways,
she faced Riho for the championship. I'm blanking on her name.
Very first.
Yeah, it was Riho taking on
her first defense.
No, her first, like the
title.
The very first title opportunity.
Yeah, Nia
Nyla Rose, yeah. Shayna's in a program with Nyla Rose right now.
One that she like beat up so much that she got suspended.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That double cheeky Nando's, I know you like that one.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yes. So I think good overall. So very interesting, and who knows? Like they're gonna have to file defense sooner rather than later, I'm sure. But maybe because of distraction and all, there's gonna be reasons for it to extend all the way to their pay-per-view, which went on sale this week and sold out within an hour. Another great showing for AEW. I believe so. They went on and said a statistic like they sold over 100,000 tickets so far this year. I believe it was that.
That's
so another
amazing.
Great ticket sales. Yeah. So you have any other information regarding news outside of WWE?
No. That's everything that that I can think of really. So let's move on to segment number 2. It is the news inside of the WWE. It's like the last segment, but it's strictly WWE related. And let's not bury the lead here. We have 2 new champions in the world of WWE NXT. Two Wednesdays ago, for the Cruiserweight Championship, we had Angel Garza taking on Leo Rush for said championship, and with a surprising change of titles very soon, Angel Garza
shut them out there, huh?
Angel Garza is your new champion. After the match, when it went to commercial break, he proposed to his girlfriend. She said yes, so congratulations for Angel Garza. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I just think he proposed to his girlfriend, and then backstage, Bobby Lashley's like, fresh meat. Like, don't get married. This is WWE. Don't let them know. So it's good for him. Good for him. I'm sure it was probably
interesting.
A great matchup. But yeah, so good to see a new person on title, maybe a new thing that they can put into, allow to build. I don't know too much about the 205 Live roster, so it's a little out of nowhere for me. But it's that's just that's how you build up names, is by putting them in the right position. So let's hope the best for his future.
Exactly. And also this past Wednesday we had a huge title change, something that's been building for the last 6 or so months. Rhea Ripley, your former NXT UK Women's Champion, went down to NXT proper and basically had a face turn and was being very, very dominant in the women's division. She had a title shot against Shayna Baszler, and after an avalanche riptide, she got the 1, 2, 3. Rhea Ripley is your new NXT Women's Champion, which is really big news. Shayna Baszler has been champion for a good minute. She lost the title to Kairi Sane and then got it back the next pay-per-view because they decided to bring Kairi Sane up to the Kabuki Warriors. But and then ever since, she's been holding it consistently. Shayna Baszler has, and now she's lost it. So it's a new it's a new look for the women's picture in NXT. So it's going to be really, really interesting. Your thoughts, sir?
It's a good win for Rhea Ripley here. I know a lot of people are excited for it. And be a good opportunity for a young woman who has a lot of talent. So it's be good to see what they do going forward as a new title. I don't know if this means that she's just never going to be back on NXT UK. It's kind of uncertain now. But yeah, we'll see. But like I said, great match for her. Great pickup and victory. Allowed NXT to get the victory on AEW on the ratings that night.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of people wanted to see it apparently. But yeah, it's good. It's good overall.
Mm-hmm. And congratulations to Rhea Ripley. We've known that she was a Triple H gal for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
He really loved her, making her the inaugural NXT UK Women's Champion. And almost immediately after losing that belt to Toni Storm, going down to NXT proper. So we knew she was going to be we knew the rocket was strapped to her back, and it was just about the build from there. And they did a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
And she won Survivor Series basically by herself, and she won War Games basically by herself. So yeah, when it comes to strong champions, that's what they have right now. So
yeah, we definitely knew Shayna couldn't keep it after the embarrassing loss at
War Games. Very much so.
Yeah, but yeah, so that was touch of that segment there.
Mm-hmm. Next news segment. It's a very happy one, a joyous occasion for one Jason Jordan. He has not had the best of luck the past couple of years, unfortunately. However, he has an amazing blessing right now in the form of his daughter. I know you have a little bit more.
Yeah, his significant other to himself is going to have a baby girl coming. It should be in June. That's when the due date is expected.
Mm-hmm.
They also have a name for Ava Rose Everhart.
And that is a superhero's name if I've ever heard one. That's a good name.
Yes, but maybe not Marvel, because for Marvel it had to have been alliteration. But yes. So congratulations to Jason
Mm-hmm.
Jordan and the feet out there on and hope
Yes.
for a happy, healthy pregnancy and birth.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, and especially now that he has, that was funny. Especially now that he has something happy and joyous to look forward to. Because I know his wrestling career, he's just doing he's a producer backstage now, because he actually can't come back to wrestling anymore, which is really sad. But at least he has a consistent job with the WWE, and at least he has something new to look forward to. So we're really happy for you, Jason. Next news story, and it's the final news story inside the WWE. And right now, as we are aware, we've had 5-year contracts being signed within the WWE, which is actually pretty big. They are Kofi Kingston, your former WWE champion, now current tag team champion. Big E, your current tag team champion, and I think together they've been 6-time or 7-time tag champs now, which is crazy. I love their joke how they said, "Oh, we need to keep winning team championships to keep up with Charlotte Flair." Xavier Woods, also a member of the New Day, currently injured right now, recovering. Still wishing the best recovery for our boy Xavier Woods. And finally, in the women's side of things, Dana Brooke. So that's really cool. They've definitely been using Dana Brooke a lot more now that she's on SmackDown. So who knows? They might keep building her up and actually getting a championship win eventually in those 5 years. Who's to say? But yeah, all 4 of them have signed a 5-year contract extension. Hey, it's money and it's great opportunities. So congratulations, you guys. The one thing I want to say though, there's a lot of people saying that Kofi Kingston has done everything in the WWE that he could, but there's one thing he has yet to do that I desperately need to see, because Kofi Kingston said after these 5 years, it's probably his retirement, and before he does that, he needs to do something, and everyone knows which match year after year he enters where he does all the most insane, crazy things.
So what you're saying is to get eliminated from the Royal Rumble first go round.
No, to actually win the whole dang thing.
Oh, wow. Real
I want to see him
surprise out of left field there.
actually win. That's the only thing he hasn't truly done in his run. And I want to see him win the big one, which is the Royal Rumble match. So I really hope they do that in the next 5 years, because that would be so bloody amazing. And they've totally squandered his WWE run. And what better way to get him back in contentions for that title than a big Royal Rumble victory and then he going full serious to win it back. That's what I would love to see, because Kofi Kingston is amazing. But yes, that is what I want to see. But your final thoughts on their contract extensions?
It's I mean, I guess good for them. That's what they want to do with their careers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's clearly it was, or else they, would do something else. But yeah, so hopefully they got a good deal with it and make money that they want and have good options.
Right.
If I was them, I would make sure to also ask for like what future storylines they want to use before I sign the contract.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did that, but if that's what they want to make money, then I guess congratulations to them.
Yeah, it's really hard to, especially when you've been a lifer for most of your career, like Kofi Kingston, just to say no to that really good paycheck. But yes, so that is the final segment of News Inside the WWE. Next week we will keep our eyes and ears close to the happenings and the goings on, because a lot of sites that I use for news are actually taking like 2 weeks off for Christmas, so we're definitely gonna have to keep an eye on things. So, but hey, we've done it before. We can still do it. Now it's for a very fun segment. We get to talk to you guys about great wrestling, and that's exactly what we're going to do in segment number 3, the best segment of the week. And yeah, it's exactly what we said. It's where we take our favorite things that happened in the WWE and we share them with you guys. So, before...
Best in wrestling.
Yeah, the best in wrestling. And
not just WWE.
Oh, my bad. But before we get to this, did you want to see the Hybrid 2 taking on and Pac taking on the other guys?
No, I'll go back to that.
Okay.
I already started that AEW dog
Episode?
yeah, that was the last match I have to see on it anyways.
Okay.
So it's already in my queue to finish.
Gotcha. But did you want to start off?
Yes, I'll start off by saying I'm going to pick that tag team match that we just saw. With Will Ospreay, Robbie Eagles, versus Hiromu Takahashi and Bushi. I think it was just a great match overall. A very quick hot start from Takahashi and Ospreay, as you expect. It was a lot of action in there, a lot of back and forth, a lot of hard-hitting stuff, some storytelling, especially to the future of Hiromu's self-esteem and maybe feeling like, do I have it? Do I not have it? So it's so there's a lot set up there, and so we'll see as it goes on, and I thought it was just a great match. Like I said, a lot of action, a lot of things in there. It was like a long match that didn't really feel long, but it was just a lot of stuff that just kept happening that was real good. So I thought it was a really good one. How about your best segment of the week?
Alright, so I was very torn between 3 matches, so I'm just going to give 2 quick shout outs. The first shout out is a triple threat match between Scorpio Sky, Peter Avalon, and Jimmy Havoc. It was really fun, really entertaining. The only problem was it was very, very predictable. Because the minute you saw Scorpio Sky come out, you knew he was getting the win. And sometimes predictable is okay, but even though it was a good match, the predictable notion of, yeah, he's definitely getting the win here, kind of soured it for me. The next shout out I'm going to have to give, and I've been thinking about it, and fortunately, it's going to be WWE only getting a shout out between Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black in their singles match. A very hard hitting, very great match. It just needed a couple more minutes to really shine past, yeah, if you know what I mean. Not to say it was a bad match at all. I absolutely loved it. My favorite match on that card of TLC last week. So that only leaves one match for me, and it is the Best Friends, Chucky T and Trent Beretta, with freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy taking on Pac and the Hybrid 2, which is Angelico and Jack Evans. This was a fantastic match with, surprisingly enough, a lot of great comedy, but a lot of spots where Orange Cassidy is doing things and you're like, oh wait, this guy can fly, for reals. He is amazing, which was really cool. Yeah.
Most times saying kicks of the game, too.
Yes, 100%. Almost broke Pac's shins.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think we saw it on his chops.
Oh, whoa, calm down. We've been taking lessons?
Yes.
Dang it. No, don't do that. But yeah, it was a fun match. A lot of back and forth. A lot of great action. And then with Pat, actually, you haven't seen it yet, so I don't want to spoil all the fun and all the goodness. But yeah, it was great. It was a great match, and absolutely loved it. He's repping the boys, the Hybrid 2 right now. But yeah, it was so much fun. That's my best segment of the week. So what is our next segment, sir?
Our next segment is what do we put it? Are You Serious?
Yes, you are correct. Segment 4 is Are You Serious? It's where we either take something good and praise it in the world of wrestling, or something bad and rant about it in the world of wrestling. And I have a huge rant, but I don't know if it's the same as yours. So, do you have anything right this minute?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I was gonna rant on some WWE stands.
Okay.
It starts off because I think it's insane. As we mentioned earlier, NXT did beat AEW in the ratings by a bit. 100,000 wasn't the largest gap so far in the Wednesday Night Wars, as it's been called. Mm-hmm. And it's people gotta calm down about it. They're like calling it's the demise of AEW, and it's like, this is the third time so far they've ever been able to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if your team's getting beat out badly, and then your team scores a touchdown in the fourth quarter, and you're like, yes, I'll come back, and it's like, no, still need 6 more touchdowns. It's like, what, they've been on 11 weeks, and it's like the third time, so it's like, what, 8 to 3?
Right.
So it's like 8 touchdowns to 3 touchdowns. And like I said,
and one of them was a tie.
Yeah. And some of the bigger division, some of the biggest divides have been for AEW. And NXT normally gets it within 100,000 and not much more than that. And it's and this was the first time so far that they ever won the demos either. Mm-hmm. So it's this isn't super high praise, and everyone's just like, "This is the demise of AEW," and I've been telling everyone you're not gonna last a year, and it's how? And it's it's ridiculous, and you never hear anything like that on the other side. No one's gonna be like NXT's demise. It's not gonna last a year. And it's never that. It's It's just, hey, look, AEW's beating NXT and the ratings. Good for them. And, you know, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the fans in general. It's like, it's crazy. And it's like, so many of them are just like, people just hate on about WWE unbiasedly. It's like, no, they have reasons to hate on WWE. It's not just no reason, number one. And number two, I think you mean AEW when you say that. Because you type WWE onto Twitter, you just get people talking about WWE. You type AEW on Twitter, you get people trying to bash AEW.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's ridiculous that people would go out the way. And it's like so much like, I don't know why people do this. Like, they take major corporations and just support them so blindly and like attack anyone who criticizes it. It's kind of ridiculous. Kind of how people do it with Disney. And it's like, just back down. It's a multi-billion-dollar company that doesn't care about you.
Right.
If people have criticisms, then they have criticisms. It's like people make stuff up. We talked about it in the past, and the throwing in the towel thing. And it's like, well, that's completely taken out of context and did happen in WWE, and there's nothing wrong with.
Happened this year in WWE.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. And then so many other ones, like they had people complain about, oh, this person was out of position, or like when this person was, Sammy Guevara was doing a shooting star press, and then it's like, there's no one there, and the John Buck super kicked him, and it's like, number one, I complained multiple times that such a usual spot for any promotion, that the whole someone jumping from the top rope and get super kicked or dodged, and it's like, if you looked, it's like they're nowhere near close to actually hitting anyone with there.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they weren't kicked. So there's that, and the thing is that it was just bad camera placement. The camera missed the fact that one of the Young Bucks was on the ground when Sammy was going for the shooting star press and popped up to super kick him. And then when that was revealed, they're just like, oh, look at the terrible cameras. This doesn't happen in WWE. And it's like, no, it does. They miss spots all the time. They missed that table one in the with that women's match.
Yeah, when Charlotte went through the table, they missed it completely.
Yeah, and Charlotte doing the insane elbow. It's like, what happened there? I don't know.
Yeah, when Charlotte went back first, was both of them.
Yeah, both times he missed.
Mm-hmm.
So it misses that because it's a live program, and they're gonna miss obviously. Or what was it? The other one I was thinking? Oh, they also talk about the refs, and it's like, oh, the refs made a mistake. They didn't put the count here. And it's like, didn't WWE just have a match ended a no count out when the person just left?
Oh, double count out.
Double count out.
Yeah.
No contest, double count out. That's what I was trying to.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then a double count outs with one person who just left the ring, which would have restarted the counts. It's like, that's an even more glaring ref botch, and it's like, it happens. It just happens. People
not even mention when the wrestlers make a mistake. When Hansen went for a springboard double back
spring elbow.
Yes, and missing Luke Gallows completely.
Yeah, so it's like, then you have situations like the one kid who was trying to just protect Dustin Rhodes in the brawl because he was already busted open and just did very obvious misses, and it's like, I gotta say he should be fired, and that's WWE terrible. It's like, yeah, you know, that random indie guy that they just picked up did that, but you can compare actual superstars and people that they put into real one-on-one wrestling matches that have done similar things in the past.
Now, let's bring up TLC again. When Kairi Sane unfortunately got injured in TLC, she was running away from Charlotte Flair a lot, like actively avoiding her. She didn't want to take a table bump and was forced to take a table bump in that table powerbomb. But also, when Becky Lynch was doing chair shots onto Kairi Sane, they were the weakest chair shots, and we mentioned it. We didn't know that Kai was injured at the time, but we mentioned how like, wow, her chair shots are really bad. It doesn't look like there's any impact. Well, it was Becky Lynch protecting Kairi Sane. So yeah, kudos to the indie guy protecting Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah.
And kudos to Becky Lynch protecting Kairi Sane. After there's footage of, I guess that was something that we could have mentioned in the news article, but there was a video of Becky Lynch rolling Kairi Sane underneath the ring to protect her for the rest of the match, so that way she doesn't do anything anymore, which was actually really, really cool. And we hope Kairi Sane gets a very fast recovery as well. But you can continue.
Yeah, and it's like, man, if they had one ticket for every time that someone misrepresented or just straight up lied or whatever about it to criticize AEW or been hypocritical about it, then they would have sold twice the number of tickets that they did. That's ridiculous. Even the people taking photographs of areas showing like empty seats. And it's like, number one is like, what's up with this? Like, did you buy a ticket just to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get a bash, and like a lot of times it's people have shown that it was taken before the show even started. I think during pre-show time, there was one where people were like, "Oh, look at all the empty seats," and people at the event were like, "Yeah, there was a lot of traffic. Most people didn't get there until like the second match of the actual regular Dynamite show," and it's like, someone bought a ticket just to take an out of context photo. Other photos people have taken into the camera area showing empty seats and being like, look at all the empty seats. And it's like, yeah, they're blocked off. You can look at the ticket sales and they show that entire section blocked off. And it's like, it's absolutely ridiculous. And it's always just like, they're not going to report on this. And it's like, no, they do report on it. And the one time I ever seen like major reports, like major coverage from WWE ticket sale things, it was that one Stomping Grounds where they had to cut off an entire third, and that's the reason why, is because they cut off an entire third of a pay-per-view arena. And it's like, they never do this. Or they're like, you can see ones like, look, the top area didn't sell out. And it's like, yeah, we live in New Orleans, and when they come here for Raw and SmackDown, like regular ones, they don't open up the top of the arena. And it's like, and New Orleans isn't huge, but it's not a small town either. So one's like, no, it's pretty common. It's like, stop taking it out of context. It's like, why do you, like, even if people were unfairly criticizing WWE, it shouldn't matter to you. It's just some company. It's not you. And it's like, it really seriously sometimes seems like people's response to someone criticizing a company is for them to criticize the individuals. And it's like, this is deranged. What are you doing? Stop. And it happens in other things. Not to get into anything, but it's also happening right now in Star Wars. Where anyone's on Twitter is saying, like, if you didn't like the new Star Wars, then you're not a fan, just go away. And it's like, what? This is ridiculous. Why would you attack someone and yell at them and tell them to go away and not watch these movies just because they criticize them?
Right.
It's insane. It's, once again, multi-billion-dollar company that doesn't care about you. Don't come to their defense. Don't like make this your personality trait. Don't like people, I guess, get too invested in it and feel like attacks on it or attacks on them. I don't know. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Just back off, guys. People don't like something, they don't like it. If they do like it, then they do like it. Now, you don't like MLW, fine, but just, you don't even have to give real reasons. But if you're gonna go out and say it's trash, that's when you gotta give real reasons. If you want to just say like, I didn't like it, then you can just say that. But you don't go out there and say it's trash. You gotta give actual reasons.
Exactly. All right.
Or the old crazy tag, you don't know who's in with the tag, and it's like, yeah, that never happened in WWE. There's never segments where we're like, there's never segments where the commentators are like, wait, which one's legal?
That happened that happened this year too.
Yeah. And we don't even listen to commentators most of the time.
Especially in those triple threat matches they've been doing this year, where the wrong person would be in the ring and get the win anyway against the wrong person in the ring as well. That happened this year, but yeah, that's a really good rant. And
yeah,
I
know that when you're talking about their shop, they actually have they have their own individual shop. AEW.
That's cool.
For AEW, I just use the ProWrestlingTees.com.
Mm-hmm. But
also nice, they gave me a magnet.
Oh,
Pro Wrestling
cool.
Team magnet.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Ready for my rant?
Yes.
It's about WWE.
So not similar to mine.
A little bit different, and it is for the treatment of Asuka. Why, whenever she wins something big, she is always just absolutely derailed minutes after. Let's go to the very first Women's Royal Rumble in 2017. What happened? No, 2018. What happened there? Ronda Rousey not even Ronda Rousey. First, Charlotte gets in the ring, and then Bliss gets in the ring, and they are holding their titles right. They're holding their titles in her face. Like, you didn't need to do that. But then Ronda Rousey makes her grand debut and points at the WrestleMania sign, and it's just, why do that to Asuka? She just won the inaugural Women's Royal Rumble match, and you're just gonna do that to her? Are you serious? That was absolutely appalling. When she finally gets her championship in the women's in the SmackDown women's roster, what happens? She gets overshadowed by everyone, and 2 weeks later, she doesn't even get a real feud, and 2 weeks later, she loses it to Charlotte Flair. Okay, and she's just forgotten about until she becomes a part of the tag team, and then this past week, she retains her tag team championships for the Kabuki Warriors. And what happens mere seconds, not even a minute passed, mere seconds after she hoisted those championships up to celebrate, it cuts to all the men in a massive brawl to end the show, which was absolutely ridiculous. And a lot of people are like, oh, maybe that wasn't supposed to happen. Maybe they weren't supposed to do that. No, that was completely and utterly planned, because they set that up right before the match. It was supposed to happen. They were going to screw Asuka out of her moment again regardless. So that is just ridiculous. Asuka is the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion on her one reign. She was never beaten. She was, except for like 2 matches, I think. And neither one she got the pinfall. I think it was like a tag team match and a battle royale. And she was never pinned. She was never submitted. And she didn't even lose the championship. She, due to injury, had to relinquish it. What are you doing, WWE? Like, seriously? Are you bloody kidding me? She is a hot commodity. One of the best wrestler when it comes to storytelling, psychology, and selling. Why are you not pushing her to the moon and back? Why are you taking her greatest achievements and just ruining them? It's so bloody inconsiderate, so bloody frustrating. And yeah, that is the end to my rant, because I don't want to dwell on it. But yeah, treat Asuka and Kairi Sane by Prosky so much better, because you definitely should.
That one for nobody's ready for Asuka to a good amount of people are ready for Asuka.
Mm-hmm. Who's already beaten her? Charlotte Flair, Carmella 3 times. Oh my gosh! But yeah, let's let's go on to the next segment. Let's have a little bit more fun. It is Book It Yourself, where we take something now and we book it to the future. Apologize. And I am going to take the tag team championships for the women's tag team championship, the Kabuki Warriors, and book them to WrestleMania. So basically, this is going to be a really, really quick one for me, and you can pepper in some things along the way. So they don't have a match at Royal Rumble. They are actually in the Royal Rumble. They end up having a match at probably Elimination Chamber. Not in the chamber, but just an actual standard tag match against a tag team. After that, they go and feud with a different tag team for WrestleMania while still holding the belts, and they retain at WrestleMania, giving 5 full minutes of Asuka and Kairi Sane time to celebrate. So you can pepper in how well they do at the Royal Rumble, who they face at Elimination Chamber, and who they face at and ultimately beat in their feud for WrestleMania. So how well do they do in the Rumble?
Versus what they should or possibly going to do.
Mm-hmm. No, just in your thoughts, how well do they do in the Rumble individually?
I think a middle way, maybe setting up Royal Rumble to set up the tag team match in the future.
Okay.
Maybe eliminated by the other tag team, but I mean, I guess they do somewhat well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Asuka at least doing somewhat well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not
so
finals, but
eliminated halfway for Kairi and number 20 for Asuka.
Sure, that sounds about right.
All right. Who do they face at Elimination Chamber?
Ooh.
There's not many tag teams.
How about the ones who should be over their feet by then? They're Nikki Cross and turning Alexa Bliss.
Sounds amazing. And who gets involved and almost cost the Kabuki Warriors their match there?
I think was getting involved and costing it. Who should it be? Who should it be? And this is for them to start up the feud with them. So
yeah, there's not many tag teams in the women's division.
I'm trying to think of face tag teams especially.
Well, I guess because they interfered and tried to get them to lose their titles, turning the Kabuki Warriors back to faces for at least this feud. So we can go heels as well.
Then Fire and Desire.
Okay. And that makes sense since they are feuding with
Cross
Bliss as well. So Fire and Desire. So, and that makes sense that at WrestleMania, Fire and Desire taking on Kabuki Warriors, that Kabuki Warriors do in fact win. That does make a lot of sense. So yeah, and then that's how we would book that.
Goes into the crowd, Kairi Sane and Mandy Rose, and then eventually it's like, where's Kairi? I don't know. And then goes, and then about to pin. Then we hear cannon fire. Kairi Sane flying in from the cannon.
Super insane elbow.
Yeah, it's kind of like in that Pirates game, the Sea of Thieves. Like you fly out the cannon. She flies out to the ring, then insane elbow to break up the pin, and cuts comeback gets the victory. Now that's incorporating the Chekhov's pirate ship in a way people didn't expect.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's how we would book the women's tag team from now until Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just did a quick one. So let's move on to the next segment, and it is the penultimate segment. It is What Do You Think? It's where we take a question from our own minds and we ask our fellow compadres what do they think. And what do you think, sir, of the first year of AEW?
I think they did quite well. There still needs things they need to improve on, but they of course needed time to do that, and have established it. I don't really see why people say the women's division as bad as it is. I think they've gone, because for the most part, you had very little very recognizable talent in name only, and I think you got a lot more names more recognizable than they were when they came in, which I think is the biggest point. It was the hardest division to do because it's the weakest to pull from. And of course, they didn't have much time to do because they had to do men's singles, men's tag teams, and then go into the women's. But they of course still need effort into it, and they want to put more effort into it, so we give them more time. But I think overall, it's I couldn't expect better from a company just starting up.
I thought as like their first year, they haven't been on TV for that long, only like not even 10 weeks. So they've been very, very impressive.
Yes.
You couldn't ask for like a first year company. You couldn't ask for more. They have new champions all across the board, and they have a TV deal, and they have like only really losing this past Wednesday because big matches, Balor and Cole and Ripley and Baszler. So yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yes, and I would also add in there too, another one of those ones that it's like I think feels an unfair criticism. The one where Butcher and the Blade debuted, and everyone's just like, "Well, they didn't go into depth. They just they didn't say who they are." And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess you can say that about to all there, but it's not. But that's only because of your knowledge of it. If you knew them, then it wouldn't be that way. And if you didn't know them about other people, it would be the same way. I went back to look at Adam Cole's debut in NXT, where he jumped Drew McIntyre at a takeover. You know what? The announcer said there. They were, "Oh my God, it's Adam Cole. Adam Cole is attacking them. Oh my God, he's making a statement." And it's like, well, who's Adam Cole? I never watched ROH before, so that if I was watching, I wouldn't think I'd watch that one live. But if I was watching live, I wouldn't know who it was. But what I would go with it is, oh, a new guy is entering in there. He's making a statement. Let me see what his deal is in the upcoming weeks. Or any single time they ever show someone and it's them waving. It's like, well, if I don't know the indies, then I don't know who this guy is.
Right.
They don't sell their biography there. So it's the exact same scenario. That's the same scenario with the Shield. Did you know Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns before you saw the Shield? No. And what did they say? It's like, oh my God, they're attacking him. They didn't go, this is Dean Ambrose. This is what he's done. This is his past accomplishments. This is his life story and his motivations. It's like,
this is why he changed his name.
yeah, John Moxley. And this is why we took that out of the clip of the Shield's. That's something they actually did. Like they re-showed.
I heard that they took him out.
And it's like, yeah, they do this all the time. What is the statement here? I think it's almost like they're too smart for their own good, and they're like, if someone is something I don't know, that I get really offended. It's like, oh no, it's like you never go to indie events. You go to indie show, you're probably not going to know half the people on there. If that, it's probably gone to ones where I didn't know 100% of the people on there.
Like you knew Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy way before I did, and Marco Stunt before I did, and the first real exposure to Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy was in that the Battle Royale that they did, the Casino Battle Royale. and I was impressed with them. But yeah, you can't expect everyone to know everyone, especially when Butcher and the Blade are known for like the I think the mid east scene, and they were like northwest at the time. So I mean, yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, it's supposed to be mysterious. It's supposed to come out and have you ask why. It's what the idea of a shark debut is. It's like I definitely know who this person is, and they even had guys who come out in mask, and it's like, who is this person? It's supposed to be a mystery. Like, wouldn't that be even the most ultimate of that? And then but then they're all like, yeah, but I also knew, but it was also crap because I also knew about it because I read dirt sheets. And it's like, I don't know, it's just like, calm down. It's like I said, I didn't know a lot of the guys. And I didn't know any of the guys in New Japan when I first watched it. So I was like, let me watch it. Let me learn.
Exactly. And what is the other major one? First at Dark Order, same exact thing happened, and now people are getting behind Dark Order. You just have to let them debut, and then through the weeks, build them up, like you said. So yeah,
I just think that in like other times, go around and it's like debut of Undertaker. People like, who is this? Who is this? And it's like, it's a brand new character, dumbass. Like, calm down.
Right.
Like, another one, John Cena, while he's giving his ruthless aggression, little promo, this very short promo, and people are like, who are you? Who are you? And it's like, no, you never hear that. So it's like, why is it now? It's like I said, it's almost as if they're smart and they think like every debut is just going to be like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the audience. And it's like,
right.
Oh no, I mean sometimes it's not going to just be someone you know. They're going to try to get a lot of people that you don't know over because I mean you're not going to know a lot of people on the DC.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it seems like they're going to set up an actual storyline with it that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you know the Bunny, Allie married to one of the guys, and of course Allie got brutalized by Brandy Rhodes, Cody Rhodes' husband, wife. So she brought in her husband and his friend to attack Cody Rhodes. Sounds like a sensible storyline that when they go into it, and it's like, how about even think of like other movies where they just be like, I'm confused. It's like, ever watch a Tarantino movie? And it's like, I'm confused. Why don't they tell me about this beforehand?
Exactly.
I need a short expert about every character in their entire idea.
Because that works so well in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and it's like, it's so random. So random that they have that problem with. Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, my thought to you is, after some time watching it, what do you have thought of MLW?
Yeah, I do like it. It gives definitely a different flavor to WWE and AEW, especially with a lot of it more being lucha centered.
Yeah.
However, my one negative at the moment that I've seen is, without a doubt,
That guy's here?
oh yeah, that's the second negative.
Yes.
That King Mo, he's still, you can definitely tell he's just a boxer because he was not good in that match.
Yeah, not like a guy. He's very, very green.
Very green, very stiff.
That's mostly name, but yeah.
But yeah, I really dig it. It's a really cool show, and the fact that you can get it for free on YouTube every Sunday is really sweet. It's kind of like AEW Dark. I've been watching a lot. That's literally the only way I can watch AEW right now is through AEW Dark. So I'm glad I'm able to get a little bit of flavor for the AEW. But yeah, I don't hate MLW at all. I don't hate a lot of wrestling companies. I don't even hate WWE. I know there's a lot of negative going on, but it's also
It's just
warranted.
more like WWE hates us.
That's how it feels. Triple H, not so much, but everyone else, yes. But yeah, I think the Fatu, being the champion, is really, really good champion. I like the Dynasty. I think they're really good heels. Heart Foundation is fun. It's really cool that they've made a home there. Filthy Tom Lawler signing an exclusive deal. The very first proper exclusive deal, I'm pretty sure, is amazing. So, and then Jimmy Havoc, basically being the face of it right now. The
Von Erichs.
Von Erichs a part of it. There's a lot of really, really good, really, really cool. Hey, that's the actual Von Erich man.
Yeah, that's their father.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really, really cool how a lot of people are behind this company. And I really enjoy that. And that's really awesome. Yeah, they took a major hit when AEW came, but they were able to rebound really, really well. Ring of Honor, not as much, but they're starting their climb back up. They are. It looks like they are starting their climb back up.
They just needed PCO as champion.
Right, and NWA is doing really good too. So so you have like your lucha
But
style.
another guy I first saw in MLW and PCO.
Mm-hmm.
MLW
Yeah.
showed me a lot of guys for the first time that's then going on to do great things.
Yeah, I want to see more of Contra Unit than just Fatu though.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any of the matches with any of the other guys on the little circle. But yeah, what was my final point? Yeah, if you want some good lucha stuff in the West, like in America West, then boom, you have MLW. If you want some really cool old timey traditional stuff, you have NWA. If you want that showmanship of the lights and the glam, you have AEW Dark. You have a lot of great free content on WWE not WWE, a lot of free wrestling content on YouTube. So go and check it out. And hey, you might be like me and be converted to these awesome, awesome matches.
Yes. I'd always said before MLW, I compare a lot to, it's more Attitude Era style wrestling, but still slightly modern, maybe like very ECW. I've seen even people compare MLW to being the ECW to WWE's WWF and AEW's WCW.
Right.
Which is a very fair take, especially since ECW brought in Lucha Libre Wrestling into America. But I would also say does that without all the sleaze and racism.
So I see Chima,
Yeah.
and I think that one's Lindemann.
I believe so.
Who's that dude?
It's definitely not T-Hawk.
That's not
But
T-Hawk.
it's I guess another Strong Hawks representative.
That's so cool. I think these guys are kind of sort of low-key partnered with AEW. Pardon the pun.
It's like,
But
I don't
because
know, it's always like
both of them are partnered with AAA right now too.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like the foreign companies just like go in there and just work with everyone. They don't know the definition of exclusive deals.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, we're gonna work with Impact, but we're also gonna do.
Whoa, he is fully tatted up now.
We're gonna work with Impact Wrestling, but we're also gonna work with MLW, AAA. We're gonna work with everyone. It's like I think if WWE put out if NXT put out the offer, we'll hear Triple H talk about the partnership with Triple H Wrestling.
Right. But
and even then, it's like saying Noah literally had an event with MLW, had matches with Impact, and is also working with WWE. That's literally one of the foreign companies to work.
mm-hmm. But yeah, those are our what do you think thoughts. So I guess it's time now. It's time for the mailbag. It's our final segment of the show, where we take questions either from you directly or from the world of wrestling that we've seen in our watching of the other channels and stuff. And I think we are in agreement of I think we share a lot of the same thoughts for TLC. But the one question I want to know.
I think that's one of the ones where we were at least matching everyone's opinion.
Right.
It seems
the
like
very
we got a
first
lot
time.
of differences.
Oh
in the
yeah.
last few pay-per-views, but that one we were like,
I remember us actually liking.
Everyone was like, meh.
Right. It started off pretty good, and then it just fizzled out, and that's what we thought, and that's what everyone else thought. Like, whoa. I think the only one where we were the same way was not the same way. I think the only one where we were like mega different was I enjoyed Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston. I think you kind of sort of did as well. Everyone else hated it. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't definitely said hate would have ever been a fair word for it, but you know, I mean, you could see why people dislike, but hate, strong word.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only other time we've been agreeing recently was, of course, Hell in a Cell, because everyone was logical enough to think that was stupid.
Except for Steven Larson. They actually liked it.
Well, that's...
To each their own.
I mean, I won't allow that, no. Not to each their own. That's just the rules. Hell in a Cell was a bad idea.
Right. It definitely was. But, yeah. So, the main question I want to ask. How does WWE improve even more in the next year and in the next decade?
Man, stop cuckolding sessions.
Well,
all those segments can, just go away.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was nice. And just get like real storylines for modern era. I always said before, like you couldn't bring in another Boom by going to the past and going to the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
because what people want is so different there. That was more of a soap opera type of time. Nowadays, what gets over is smart storytelling with interesting characters in kind of like a Breaking Bad sort of way, or a other ones, BoJack Horseman, things of that nature. So I think if WWE wants to get successful, and any wrestling company wants to get real successful, I think that's what they're gonna have to start doing, is adding a lot more intrigue and story with a lot more depth, and you just basically that, a lot more depth, a lot more intrigue to it, and a lot more character development.
Mm-hmm.
And also just give people storylines.
Yeah, 100%. It's just, yeah, that's the selling from Brian Pillman Jr. there was amazing.
You missed a little earlier when TJP was in the hold on the bottom there, and he got out by putting his body straight up and then walking on his elbows out of the lock.
But yeah, I also agree with you with that. More compelling storylines, less the soap opera stuff. Because even though there are still people who do like it, you could do like 2 segments of that. But also giving more people more feuds and more motivation is another key, and also giving wrestlers time to shine is also a big issue. But not overbooking your pay-per-views. WrestleMania is going to be mental, just like Wrestle Kingdom. We're okay with that. That's their flagship show. That's when it's supposed to be a gruel. That's when we did our 10-hour extravaganza. We're doing that again?
I guess so. At least Wrestle Kingdom is going to be 2 days this year.
Right, yeah. But we won't. We'll be able to live stream a little bit of that on Sunday, because most of that time we'll be out on the town, like we said. But Yeah, that's what we want for WWE and next year, and from the better storylines, better feuds, and actually just not even if you only give them 10 or 15 minutes, just let the wrestlers go. Let them do what they're trained to do. Let them do what they do best. And that's choreographed fighting, because that's what we want to see. That's what these two guys, Brian Pillman Jr. and T.J. Perkins, are doing right now. And they're just going all out, and it's great. It's a lot of fun. So that WWE, we know you have your own style for TV, and that's okay. But take those TV matches away from the pay-per-views and let your wrestlers do their job, because we get amazing matches out of it. We wouldn't have gotten Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black if not for just letting them go. And I'm pretty sure they just took a lot of that on their own anyway. Mm-hmm. They're just like, oh, we're just going to do this. And they're like, okay. And then they did more. And WWE's like, well, it's not like we can tell them not to anymore.
It's like, they went off script, Mr. McMahon. Who? The guy's in the ring right now. This guy's in the ring.
There's guys in the ring. I thought we were on commercial.
They're too small for me to see.
Or even crazier. Oh, apparently this is a fun thing. The Raw, I think it was either the Raw or the SmackDown before TLC. Triple H and Vince McMahon were not there. Paul Heyman was doing the whole show by himself, behind the scenes. How crazy is that?
Pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. I guess
it's like, I'm in control now. Give me Dreamer. We're writing this here. It's like, okay, so that means I can get all the women?
Or does Lana get all the men? Is that where this is going?
Less of that.
Well, here's a funny thing.
Like I said, MLW, like 90, like Attitude Era style and stuff, but without the racism and sexism and homophobia.
But I don't think Tommy Dreamer can really do much since he's an Impact guy.
Well, Tommy Dreamer is the same thing as the foreign companies. He just works with everyone.
Right.
He has his own show. He's done the AEW Battle Royales as Impact. I think he's done the MLW. He does everything.
Yeah. He has done AEW. Wow, that's funny.
Yeah. If you're like, hey, we're a wrestling company in America, it's like, we didn't have Tommy Dreamer working for us in 2019. People are like, what? Weirdos.
He literally does everybody.
He goes everywhere.
But I think that was the fastest.
Tommy Dreamer is in every promotion all the time. Just transports to different avatar bodies.
Right. It's just like what's his face's wife.
Yes. It's just like Agent What's his wife. It's just an avatar for him to take place if need to.
But yeah, TJP with the fastest Pentagon arm break I've ever seen. That was like so quick and so clean. That was so good. But yeah, any other questions you can think of?
What's the worst nickname in wrestling right now?
Ooh.
I feel there's a right answer for this.
There probably is. The big dog?
My answer is Archer of Misfortune.
Oh yeah.
What does that mean?
He apparently got a very big win off of Killian Dane this past Wednesday. So
yes, Killian Dane, the Scottish teddy bear.
He is absolutely just floundering right now. Poor Killian. We thought, oh, he's back to NXT. He's going to have to get a rocket strapped to his back. Oh, he lost to Pete Dunne. Oh, he beat Pete Dunne. Oh, he lost to Punishment Martinez. The Damian Priest. Okay. Well, poor guy.
His last name is dumb. Punishment Martinez. Damian Priest. He's like, look at me, guys. I'm edgy.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just Archer Misfortunes. Hey, what does that mean? Do you fire misfortunes at people? Are you an archer that works for misfortune? Is that like an archer's guild? Why are you even an archer? Like, stop this. Everyone.
He doesn't even have archer-based offense.
Yes, archers are stupid. Stop trying to make that a thing. I mean, it's already kind of a thing, but it's like, I think I told you before about that one, what's his name, Nazi episode, that review he did of, it was some like future first-person shooter thing that added a new, like, has like cybernetic armor, and one of the new things in the newest game is that it added a bow and arrow. So he had a little skit beforehand where he's like, do you like having your gun but wish you could go and take the bullets out of the body and put it back in the gun to use? It's like, I sure do. And it's like, oh, well, we have something for you. It's called a bow and arrow. It's so efficient, you'll wonder why it was ever replaced with ammunition.
Oh,
and
man.
it's like, yeah, it's been replaced by ammunition because it's not effective. Like, an arrow would go normally like an inch or two thick into like an animal or a person. And that's not when they wear an armor. Like, an arrow's not gonna do anything against even small amounts of body armor. So, but they always have it, and it's like instantly someone gets shot and they're downed. And don't say killed because sometimes you're not like into the killing. I remember that from the whole Green Arrow thing. That was a weird thing where it's like, if you kill people, you're just as bad, blah, 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 blah. And so he just shoots arrows now and I guess knocks them out by sticking into them.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, the guy who's like was big into telling him he can't kill people, he comes in and joins him and he shoots guns at people. So it's like, it's okay, they're less lethal than bows and arrows.
Wow.
And I was like, it's just a bow and arrow. How is it so devastating? Part of me blames the Hunger Games.
If you are a expert with the bow and arrow, it can be pretty devastating. If you have I know if you're shooting just straight, the velocity can get out like pretty easy. But if you have like that angle and it's going down, it's moving faster now because of the gravity, which can really do some damage. But yeah,
to a degree, but I mean,
yeah.
Even back in the medieval times, they had stuff called I forget what they called it, but it was basically a tightly wooled fabric that they would wear that would be able to block bows and arrows.
Mm-hmm.
Now that changed, of course, when the British invented the long arrow, but none of the people who use archery and things like this, like Hawkeye, Green Arrow, Cadmus from Hunger Games, they don't use longbows. So it's like, and even if you talk to like a bow hunter, they'll tell you you're not taking a deer out the first shot.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point is you shoot them and track them using the blood.
Mm-hmm.
Let them bleed out slowly. But anyways, yeah. Stupid archer misfortune. What's dominating?
Well, my next question: what did you think of this match?
Oh, I thought it was excellent. Showed a lot of great grappling work, a lot of great, high speed action, good finish, good selling. I felt. So it was a real.
Brian Pillman Jr. being like the babyface to overcome TJP, and especially in that submission, was really amazing.
It was what you would probably call a exhibition. Well, not exhibition. What's the term? Clinic.
Mm-hmm.
A clinic match, basically, where they show you everything that you'd want in the match. Basically, the idea translates into like if you went to a wrestling clinic and they showed you how to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically like that. It showed you how to put on a wrestling match, and
Mm-hmm.
it was very much like that. It was very everything in there, giving you what you want, giving what you need.
Exactly.
So real excellent match.
But yeah, I absolutely love the match as well. I thought it was.
Did you name your first nickname in wrestling, or you just agree with?
I'll agree with my Archer of Misfortune. Because so many. I watched a couple of things where they also had the same sentiment as you. It's like Archer of Misfortune. What are you doing? Shooting misfortune arrows?
Yes. What does it mean?
I think it was Jack, the jobber, who said the same thing as you. But yeah,
It's like I like nothing on him. I don't like the name.
mm-hmm.
I don't like the look. I don't like the nickname.
I don't even like his moveset.
Yeah, it's not even that great annoying.
But maybe he'll improve. Who
Maybe.
knows? He got a really big win against Killian. We didn't see that match, but yeah.
Shot with a bow and arrow.
Well, you see what had happened was he let him bleed out, and once he finally was good, he was able to get the final victory. That's his whole gimmick. He tires him, and when he's finally able to pull off a big move, he gets the job done. Usually to the expense to himself, but whatever.
And he's like second when it comes to wrestlers who use bow and arrow, thingy, like that physical maneuver as a taunt after King Cuerno or whatever his AAA name. I know in Mexico he uses a different name, but
yeah, he does.
I think I've seen him. At least I've seen him wrestle under that name because I think he was at the Impact AAA event in New Orleans.
Okay, that's cool.
Because I remember him doing that.
So
the
thing. Here's the difference.
So he's not even the best to use that. As
no, here's the difference. Here's the difference between the two taunts. Damian Priest does it when he's face to face with a guy, and he does that, and he usually gets beat up for his troubles. As oh, I'm so cool, look at me. King Cuerno does it when his opponent is on the outside before he does the longbow up. Is it the long? Yeah, the longbow dart, which is where his suicide dive, where he just obliterates whoever's in his way.
Yeah,
so way more effective with the way King Cuerno does it. I agree.
Yeah, see, he even knows the importance of a longbow.
Right.
Compared to a regular one.
But yeah,
Stupid thing. I don't even know why it popped in my head, but that's just what sometimes happens. It just randomly pops in. Archer Misfortune. I'm like, God damn.
Archer. Why is that still here? Why is that in my head? But yeah, any
Street.
final questions you can think of?
Why is Sesame Street just being, pimped out?
Hey,
everywhere. I mean,
HBO bought the rights.
They even have insurance companies.
No.
So random.
The Muppets is also now getting pimped out too, which is interesting because Disney has the rights, but I guess HBO has some distribution rights as well.
I mean, there's multiple types of rights too, so it always depends.
Yeah, because you see a lot of Sesame Street going on, and you see a lot of Muppets right now too. So that's crazy.
At least with that, we got to read Muppet turmeric drinking Lipton tea.
Right.
So at least we got something out of it.
But yeah,
and Sir Elmo was pretty cute too.
Yeah, I think Elmo is my sister's favorite Sesame Street member.
I think if that actually happened in season 8, like they were talking and he comes out and makes peace for the line, that would cause less backlash than they actually went to season 8.
Oh my gosh.
They have the commercials for that now too.
Really?
Yeah, on YouTube for like I guess selling the DVD. I don't even talk about the DVD. It's just like I don't know, but it was like it came up multiple times and I was like skip, Then like the third time, it's like, you're watching this.
No more skips. Darn you. Same thing happened.
You cannot forget.
You
cannot forget.
There's this annoying pixel ad where you can take pictures in the dark and it will give clear pictures now. And the very first, and it has to do with Santa Claus. And there's this annoying song where they're saying,
catching Saint Nick.
Yes, the very first time that ad came on, it allowed me to skip. I was like, oh sweet, skip. Ever since then, it's like, no, this is Google. You do not skip Google. How dare you? It's like, what?
Well, apparently Game of Thrones. It's like, you don't skip it. You have to live through this. Remember, you became invested in this show.
It's over.
And it wasn't, and it didn't give you the conclusion that was really wanted, or was anything other than just a lazy, quick grab to get out of this series.
This contract. Yeah, I still like the final season, but I will not say I understand people that do not, especially after watching a lot of their videos and stuff. Even though I don't agree with all of their points, I do see where they're coming from.
I get the ideas of season 8, but not any of the execution.
Exactly. But except for episode 3, I thought that was executed very, very well. That battle episode.
Oh, yeah.
They did a great job with that pacing and the action and stuff. And we had an amazing TV, so that way we could watch it without.
Yeah, that was the craziest thing. Just the next day, it's like it was too dark, no one could see it. It's like
we saw it perfectly.
It was fine by me. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
But yeah, I guess that's all the questions in our mailbag this week, and we want to thank you guys so much for watching the show with us.
Except if you're the Ultra Misfortune.
Yes, change your. If he's watching the show, we just made him very angry.
I don't care.
Next thing, he changes his nickname. You're like, guess we have more pull than we realized.
It's like, good on you.
Right.
You'll listen to criticism.
So, Cody, since you obviously are watching because you screwed me out of that pyro when we watched, what was that, Kenny? Who screwed me out of seeing that pyro? I think it was Cody. Where I turned my back for 1 minute and then the pyro started going.
It's probably, I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, someone's watching and is out against me, or he's for me. So listen, what I want you to do is actually give the title to Chris Statlander, and since she doesn't have that Japanese deal, and Rico can focus on her Japanese duties before coming back, let her have like a good 7-month run with it, because I really dig her work. So that's just what I'm putting out there to you guys if you're watching. But anyways, regardless.
You know, apparently they make a big deal of Rio being in AEW for Stardom.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that one clip?
I think so.
Where the one was chanting AE dub.
That's great. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching with us. Comment down below what you guys think and your thoughts on everything that we discussed. We would really love to hear and see what you guys are thinking. Of course we do. And we read and respond to all of our comments. After you do that, please give us those sexy likes.
And the unsexy ones.
And once you do that, please go on over and share this video and all of our videos to your friends.
And enemies.
I mean, you're doing all of this. You might as well subscribe to the channel so that way you're a part of the Smarky family. And then go on over to that little bell and then ring it because
you want to get notified for our podcast stream with the Smarky family, the one you're watching right now.
Right now.
Every Sunday at about 1:30 Central Time. And you also want to get notified for when we go live for pay-per-views inside and outside WWE.
Whenever we battle for this beauty.
Yep. And probably not going to do that for New Japan since we're not going to watch it live.
Exactly.
And,
Heck, that's going to be...
Unless I can trick you.
No, I won't be swayed.
And then anytime we just post videos, information, news, polls, or anything like that.
Next one is probably going to be Royal Rumble, unless something else pops up before then.
Unless we want to do it for, I know they have the NWA one that we don't know too well, but you know, So it's not certain that we would do it. We may still at least do a live reaction to it. We may just put the title on the line.
Exactly.
So,
We've done that many times as well.
mm-hmm.
But and after you do that, go on to the Twitter sphere and follow me on Twitter at IsaJ_STP.
Follow me on Twitter at Liam_SWA.
And heck, if you've seen the live chat, you've seen the Sports Enthusiast League, go give them a subscribe and follow the main man over there. That is at DJC_SEL. I think that's right. At DJC_SEL. That is what it is. Go follow him as well on the Twitter sphere. Yeah. And anything else that we need to plug or anything that? Oh, yes. Final thing. Next week, like we said, we will give you the updated as of then card for Wrestle Kingdom, and in 2 weeks' time, I can't believe it's almost here already. 2 weeks. We are going to be at Wizard World, New Orleans. Unfortunately, we are not going to be presenting there. We'll be walking around. But hey, if you see us and you recognize us, come say hi. We might be in cosplay. We might not. If you want a picture, we will get a picture with you. If you want to talk wrestling, we will talk wrestling with you. And hopefully, we'll give you an update as it goes along. But hopefully, we'll be able to have our own panel. We don't know yet. I put it out there. We may be, we may be not. It's gonna be either way. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it. We actually really like going, and we get a lot of cool merch, and we get a lot of fun times. We get to hear really cool stories from the panels. Yeah, go check us out over there as well. Come say hi, come hang out, and we might do we'll be horrible at it, but we might do on Sunday morning one of the gaming things, just to see what we can do. Maybe we'll see. We don't know, but yeah, definitely do that. And any last things we can think of?
Nope.
Well then, until next time, it will be awesome.
Bye and happy holidays. Now you have celebrate Hanukkah, it's already going on. Celebrate Christmas, it's almost here. Celebrate Kwanzaa, that starts with the day after Christmas, I believe. So happy Kwanzaa and any other type of celebrations that we may not know of. Happy holidays.